The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Well, Mars Hill is always an interesting team to play. They got speed. They got unbelievable speed. They got some, and I think a couple of them have been suspended, but they'll all be back against us, I guarantee you. And I hadn't read the announcement, but I'm sure that's what it'll be. And they have got a great repertoire of trick plays, and we'll see some of them. And they do some things defensively. They're usually really sound defensively as far as alignment technique, and so they'll play us tough. That's it's kind of one of them neighborhood games in some ways. That Mars Hill's so close to us, and they're a Baptist school, and I think they're or they used to be. I don't know if they're a Baptist school anymore or not. They used to be. And then, of course, Tim is second oldest coach in the league, and in longevity, I don't know if he is in age or not. I better be careful. He'll be writing me dirty notes. But they got Coach Barnett, the defensive coordinator's been there for years, and so we know a whole lot about each other. And I think it's an important game to them. It's an important game to us, and so it'll be a good challenge for us.
You talked about the talent they have, arguably as good as it gets out of wide receivers between Gilbert Johnson, who came back last week, and Keyshawn Taylor, who's been banged up at the start of the season. What sticks out to you about those two players?
Speed. Very talented. Get the ball in their hand in space, and they're, the odds of trying to get them corralled are not as good as they are some other people because they run so well. They can run out of trouble, and so they've given us a fit every year. They've scored points against us every year, and as they watch us play defense right now, they probably licking their chops and thinking they're going to score some more against us. So we've got to, we got to be better tacklers than we've been. There's no question about that.
It really was a strange game against Catawba. They were in third and long 13 times and convert on 7 of them.
8 of them.
Did you owe it entirely to missed tackles?
Not all of it. We still had some mental breakdowns, lined up the wrong place, and and our football sense sometimes is not very good. And that comes from playing some young players and playing some people who hadn't lined up before. We started a freshman free safety. We started a freshman linebacker, a redshirt freshman, two freshmen at defensive tackles, a redshirt freshman at another linebacker spot, a freshman at corner. And so, you get thinking that's a bunch of new people on the field, and even though we think they've got some talent, we're making freshman mistakes, and the speed of the game is a little bit faster than probably it was in high school, and we're not getting the job done.
Mars Hill is a transfer quarterback from Campbell, and David Salmon. What makes him tick under center?
He has got an exceptional arm, and still runs well. And if they give him time to throw, he's very, very dangerous. And again, speed. He's got speed. The running back's got speed. They got speed. And they've always had a bunch of old nasty offensive linemen that like to get after people, and so they got the ingredients for a good offense.
You mentioned Tim Clifton earlier, and this will be the 24th time that you guys have butted heads on the gridiron. What sticks out to you about him as a head coach?
Well, he's very competitive. He's a little old pit bulldog that likes to get after people and never says that he can't do it, and and he's a trickster, and they'll always come with something that we hadn't seen before that they've saved just for Carson-Newman, and on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. So they're a hard team to prepare for.
2 losses here in the first 3 weeks of the season. Where do you see the team's mentality at this point?
Well, I don't know. Ask me after the game Saturday. I'll know a little bit more about it after the game Saturday. But I hope that I hope that we're growing up. I hope that we're growing up physically and mentally. And of course, all that starts in the heart. And I think we got some kids that's got good heart. Now, we got some that probably don't. And we're still trying to figure that out, because you never know until you get under the fire exactly how somebody's going to react. And we've had some that's melted under the fire, and we're still working on trying to figure out how we can help them get there. And we got a few that needs to get all the way in or get all the way out. That's the only way I know how to do it, and be fair to everybody else. And so we're still working on that.
5 turnovers from the offense. What do you do in practice to shore things up?
Well, it's a big word. It's a big old word. It's called execution, and that eliminates turnovers. And there was some time Saturday we just didn't execute. We didn't. It didn't get knocked loose by a hard tackle. It didn't get knocked loose, except one time when I think the quarterback got hit from behind. But the rest of the time, it was just execution, mental mistakes.
You mentioned how young you are on defense, but Lane Bloom seems to be a guy that's really stepped up here over the first couple of weeks, and especially with Saheem Supart out. What have you seen from him? Well,
Lane is not only, he's got some physical tools. He can run. He just needs more experience because he didn't play a whole lot last year, and so consequently, just like this past Saturday, he made a fundamental mistake by looking in the wrong place, and the guy ran right by him, for a completion that shouldn't have happened. And but Lane's going to get better. He's a quality guy. He's everything that you dream about coaching as a coach, and so that's what gives us hope in so many situations. That we got really some good kids that's going to get better. There's no question about it.
Talked about the offense's turnovers, but the defense has only generated 1 through 3 weeks, last in the country. What's it take to cause?
Oh, we're last in the country? Really? What a great distinction. Come on, Eric Kane, we need you. And you did get 1 pick, didn't you?
Got 2. Yeah.
Got 2. Okay, I underestimated. Yeah. So, one of the great things of the defense, if you're not tackling well and everything, and maybe not getting lined up right, at least get a turnover every once in a while, and we're not doing that. And it's all part of the inexperienced youth package most of the time, and the fact that we're not tackling very good. Usually you're not going to have turnovers if you don't tackle very good, and so we just got to continue to work at it.
Defensively, for Marshall, Ricky Hawks anchors that linebacking core, 2 weeks removed from being named SAC Player of the Week. What sticks out to you about him? Well,
he's played a lot. He's been there a long time. He's been there at least 6-7 years, and but he's an experienced guy, and has lined up a lot, lined up against us. This may be his 3rd year he's lined up against us, and so anyway, he's kind of probably their leader on defense, and he makes them go in a lot of ways.
Backs against the wall. Obviously, you don't want to think entirely about playoffs 8 weeks out from the end of the regular season, but another loss, and it's a mountain to climb to get in. How do you treat that among the team, among coaches, the staff as a whole, at being 1 and 2 3 weeks in?
Well, we haven't talked about that a whole lot, except to say this, that right now everything's still alive for us. Everything that we want to have happen is still alive. But we've got to change our ways a little bit, and and the thing that we're concentrating on right now is today, and the fact is our theme is 2-4, which is part of our theme, me to we for he. So that 2-4, we got 24 hours. That's all we got. We got to make it count. We can't waste a minute of it. And we got to make the day's practice count. And, if we right now in our situation, if we think about tomorrow, next week, we're in trouble because we got to get better today. And so that's kind of what we've been working on so far.
Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome. You're welcome.